right, if you're tuning in, I just want to welcome you to a client testimonial. And this client is different in the fact that he's worked with me for over a year. I did go back and check. You're going to love this, man. November of last year. That's when we started.
Crazy.
November
That's
20th
crazy.
of last year is when we started working together, man. It's been a
Man.
wild ride, bro. And you have gone through a lot of life transitions during that time. This is my client, Tyler. And I'm going to let him do a lot of the talking here and just talk about his journey, what it was like to work with me. And then I'd also like you guys to join me in congratulating him because he's actually graduated my program. He knows everything he needs to know to maintain his health at a high level despite any challenges life throws at him. So without further ado, Tyler, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Yeah, we started a little more than a year ago. I was in a very bad, very low place in my life, and I had a realization that I was in a low place and I needed to do something about that. And I found you and reached out to you. I think it was over TikTok actually.
Yep.
Commented on that and got in touch with you and just started working with you. Started out slow, started out easy, actually, is a good way I want to put it. You know, it wasn't scary, it wasn't stressful, it was easy. It's like, just do this one thing, just do this one thing. It's like, all right. And
Yep.
slowly progressed and
so tell me real quick, when that came to the low place you were in, was it physical, was it mental? Dig into that a little bit.
yeah, it was definitely more of a mental than physical. I wasn't really physically, I wasn't at where I wanted to be. You know, I wanted to gain weight, gain muscle. There was some aspirations I wanted to do physically, but I think most of my issues were mentally. I was having a lot of issues with stress, with depression. I was having a lot of panic attacks, a lot of loneliness, I guess I want to say, or issues being calm alone. I always had to keep my mind busy and be busy. I couldn't just sit down. I couldn't, relax. So
Yeah, got you. All right. So what was it like when you started working with me? Keep going into that.
Yeah, it was kind of weird at first, just because, in a good way, because you were even with the little things, you're starting to get me to open up and take a look at myself and look at the things I'm doing and kind of make me realize, there was a lot of stuff that I was doing mentally that wasn't healthy. There was a lot of ignoring my feelings or kind of pushing them away, trying to just quiet my mind instead of listening to my mind. And it was definitely a different experience trying to let myself open up to those emotions and let myself feel and think. And yeah, it was a weird ride, but it was definitely worth it.
And the crazy part too that I want to bring up is throughout this process of over a year working with me, you've gone through some major life transitions too, man.
Yeah.
Like moving out and living by yourself for quite a while. You're in a supervisory position, so you're actually responsible for other people. You're a leader in your industry right now. And on top of that as well, I'm not gonna put all your news out there, but you're taking the next step as an adult too, and you have a partner with you as well. It's just amazing. And I wanted to bring that up because number one, through all of that, you stayed committed to the work we were doing. You pick and choose out of the tools I gave you, what's going to work to help you get to those next levels. And because of that, you're actually able to help other people that you work with, people that you have relationships with. And on top of that, the last thing I'll say is with all of these different transitions, it's something that's going to be permanent for you. Do you feel like years from now, even if we don't talk, do you feel like it's ingrained in you, the ability to take care of yourself?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think I think there's been a lot of good changes, and I think a lot of good habits have started from this. So yeah, it's definitely good.
Yep. So out of everything I had you do, what do you feel like was the one tool that would be in your top three, that would be the top one for you that made the biggest impact?
Oh, that's a good one. I think the Wim Hof breathing. I think
Yep.
that's still my favorite thing, and it's just because when we first started or before we even started, I was so stressed and I couldn't find a way to calm down or relax or just soothe my breathing, and that exercise just gets me like just calmed down and zoned in and like in a meditative kind of state. I can just be there with my thoughts and be calm, and I love that.
And how often do you do it now?
I think right now I do it like once a week about.
Okay.
And if it's a rough week or a tough day or something like that, I definitely do it more often, but I think on average I'm doing it about once a week. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So compared to where you were before we started working together and now, what's the biggest differences you noticed, the top three?
Oh man. Oh, that's crazy. Man, I have a lot more self-love, I want to say.
Yep.
I have a lot more of an ability to respect my emotions and my thoughts instead of pushing them away. I feel like I have a lot more confidence in myself, a lot more of an ability to, lead or show a supervisor role to other people. So yeah, definitely.
Good, good. And then the last thing, second to last thing I'll ask you, on the physical side of things, how has your philosophy changed on that? Because before you had this idea of what it would take to get in the physical shape you wanted to be in, but now you kind of had a shift in perception on actually what the effort would be there. What is that shift?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I thought, I wanted to be big, I wanted to be huge, big, strong, muscular, and I thought I had to, go to the gym 7 days a week and work hard and spend 3 hours there a day and like take pre-workouts and proteins and all those additives and stuff, and I definitely see that, even doing like 3 workouts a week is what we were doing, or 3 or 4 workouts a week, and I was already seeing crazy amounts of changes. So it changed a lot from going every day and working my hardest every day to just doing the right stuff, a smaller amount of times, and it still makes a big difference.
Yep, excellent, man. I'm just proud. I'm just proud because if you guys don't know, like when we first talked, getting this man to share his thoughts was like pulling water from a stone.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about trust or anything like that. It's like he said, it's just really tough to sit with yourself and explore those thoughts. And then you got to take it a step further, working with a coach who challenges you. You got to bring those thoughts out to the forefront and talk about them. So it's crazy because he even took that a step further. After he brought him out, he did something about it. He took actions, conscious actions that helped him to feel better, process, and move forward with different things. Because there were also times when we were talking where you came up with things that were triggering you, things from the past that you never even thought about, but you had to face and start dealing with, and you were able to do that. So just amazing testament to how much you were committed to improving your own health. So the last thing I want to leave you guys with, and I want to ask you is, if somebody is on the fence about working with me, and you can picture and imagine that they're in the same place you were more than a year ago before you started, what's something you would tell them to get them off the fence, get them to take action this year so that next year is completely different for them?
Oh man. Definitely, just do what's best for you. And for me, it was definitely reaching out to you and working with you. And I think that you can help so many other people. And if there's anyone on the fence out there that thinks even a slightest bit that some good change can come of this, try it. I mean, there's nothing to lose. The worst that's going to happen is nothing, but the best that can happen is this, a year later, and I am a whole world different and a whole world better. So I definitely would do it again if I could. Yeah.
Glad to hear it. All right.